We're live. Let's go. Let's get our message set up. Good morning, everybody. Morning, YouTube. Hang out while I'm doing some code. Let's get this thing done. So, okay. Yeah, I have a coding class I'm working on. Happy Saturday. Third quarter exam opened today at midnight. Open today. 33.333333% done. Let's go. Print array. I have to print a full array. Let's say I got 100 on that. Okay, good. I got that done. Alright, let's see. Yeah, and I did count greater than. Next one I'm on. Next one I'm on is this one. Find the minimum. Find the index of the minimum value in an array. We got this. We got this. So an array is like a list of numbers. So I have to make my method be able to take in that public static. And what are we returning? We're returning the index. So that's an integer, right? It returns an integer. Yep. Public static integer. And this is called get min index. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this is called get index of min. Get index of min. And it takes an array of integers called array in, and it also takes an integer, I think. Nope, that's it. Yo, what's up, everybody? We got some comments rolling in. Daily reminder that Jesus Christ loves you. Have a good day, beloved member of mankind. Daily reminder, Jesus loves you. Daily reminder that Chris loves you. I love all you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What's up, love? Love, 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 love. So much love in here. Okay, so we're getting the index of main. I'm sorry, index of the minimum. Okay, for I equals 0 through I is less than the length of our integer array, we're going to count up by 1. And then while we're doing that, we're going to, we need a variable called minimum. Minimum index is an integer. Where you from, brother? USA. East Coast. East Coast, USA. Manu, where are you from, Manu Patel? That's probably India. If I had to guess, with Patel. Okay, so if we're doing that. So while we're looping, we're gonna check if the value is the minimum, and we're gonna assume that the first value is the minimum. So we're gonna set the minimum index equals okay, so if this is the first one, if I equals 0, if I equals 0, we'll take the first one. Oh, I was right. And then no, I'm in East Coast. You said Texas. What's up, everybody? So we're getting a code program going, get the index of the minimum value from an array going in. So on the first loop, we'll set the minimum index to 0, and then we'll compare to that value. Oh no, that makes it. No, we don't have to do that. This is gonna start 0. It's nice being able to do this with some people here. Okay, so store value. It's like I almost want to start at the end. So it usually helps to like draw out a picture. So I'll just draw a picture if I'm doing this one. That index goes. So if that value is less than that value, if 0 is less than plus 1, store it. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna say like you have to just treat the first one different. If it's the first in the array, you have to store it, and then everything else you're gonna do a comparison if it's. So I am gonna do that. If I equals 0, then that's gonna mean that your minimum index equals 0. Yeah, okay. else. For all other things, I'm going to go if the value at that point, array in value at I, is less than or equal to minimum array at minimum index, array in at minimum index. If it's less than that, we'll store that value. Then minimum index equals array equals I. I think that's got it. And then return I. And then, yeah, when the loop is done, return minimum index. Sweet. Okay, let's try it. My test array. Index of min of my array. Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna try my code, see if it runs. Let's go. Preparing environment. Oh, my bad. I've done this a few times. When I'm in my for loop, I forget to put int. For integer I equals 0. Okay, let's try that again. At least I'm consistent with the same error. What? Okay, curly brackets. Sorry. When you declare an array, I guess you need brackets. Semicolons. Semicolons will get you. Okay, run. Oh, print that. System dot out dot print. Okay, somebody give me a test case. Test case of numbers. 0. Da-da-da. Minus da-da-da. Minus big number 9. Okay, so it should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 4 is the answer on this. One error. It doesn't like that number. Oh, did it right. 4, index 4 is the minimum number. Boom. Okay, that code's working. Get index of a minimum is working. Submit for grading. Let's make sure. What up? Let's go. Auto grade. Yes. I'll show you 100 out of 100. Let's go. 100 out of 100. Submission passed. All tests. Let's go. Let's go. On to the next. It's never ending. Okay, next one. Get the index of a max value. Basically what I just did, but we're just gonna have to reverse a couple things. Just our logic, instead of it being if it's minimum, if it's less than, it'll be if it's greater than. And then I like to copy and save my programs. Today is 14th of November. Oh, we're on the 15th. Get minimum. Sweet. And then maximum. Okay, let's go to this next one. Array, the index of the maximum in the array. Let's go. So we'll start off with assuming the first number is the max, and then we'll just compare that every time. Let's write our method. Hello, everybody out there. Public. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Static. Get index of max. Is it max? Yep. It takes an integer array called array in. And we're going to have a maximum index equal to 0 to start for my I equals 0 to the length of my array. We're going to count up by 1. If I equals 0, so that means it's the first one, then the maximum index is equal to 0. And then else if the array in index at I is greater than or equal to the array in at the maximum index. If that's true, then the maximum index now equals that location. Yeah, okay, and then return maximum index. Return maximum index. Let's check it. Submit. Submit for grading. What's up, everybody? Thanks. Remember, double tap for a like. Yo, guys, what are my thoughts on .NET coding? What am I? Let's see what Grok has to say. Let's go. 3 minutes to talk about .NET coding. .NET is a powerful, versatile framework from Microsoft for building apps across platforms on the web, desktop, mobile, cloud, and more. Let's hit the essentials of .NET coding. Seems pretty decent. First, .NET's core strength is working in C#, strongly tied to object-oriented language. C# has modern features for handling asynchronous operations. Link queue for querying data in SQL-like way, and pattern matching for cleaner code. For example, a simple async HTTP request. .NET. You talking about .NET 9? That's the latest as of November 2025, and it emphasizes performance and cross-platform development. Sure, let's do this. Variable app is a web application. Create hello net. Pretty simple. And C# is just var app equals app.map get app.run. This spins up a web server in a few lines. Sweet. Challenges: the ecosystem can feel overwhelming, too many templates and options, plus while cross-platform is strong, native integrations sometimes require extra work, like iOS APIs. Still, that community's documentation is top-notch, with ex-users often sharing real-world tips or gadgets. In short, .NET coding is about writing clean, performance C# to build anything from API to apps with tools that streamline. Time's up. Want to dive deeper? How's that? How's that there, Philip? Was that decent? Seems like .NET is good. Let's ask, are Java and Python skills easily transferable to .NET coding? UNC. God bless everyone. So Java and Python skills are transferable to .NET coding, but the ease depends on the specific skills. It's object-oriented. Java and C# are strikingly similar. That's good. Python is more flexible. Okay, so it's more like Java. Java interface or Python class translates to C#. Okay, so it's basically C#. In Java, if you've used completable future or async in Java 21+, then that's very similar to C#'s async await. Both handle non-blocking input-output for tasks like HTTP requests. Nice. Okay. I mean, I ask as my program is in Java. Everything I'm doing is in Java right now. Okay. Illegal start of type. I can't just return maximum index. It didn't compile. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Return maximum index. There we go. Let's try that again. Submit that code for grading. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. 100 out of 100. Let's go. All test pass. All right. Get all but last. Get all but the last. So you're copying an array, copying everything but the last. What is it? Write method name get all but last. That takes array. Okay. What's it called again? Get all but last. Okay. Let's write this out. Get all but last. Make sure. Okay. Let's go public static. And it's returning an array. Int array. Yeah, so you gotta make sure you tell it that. Get all but last. And there's an integer array coming in. We call that array in. And that's it. And then I'm going to come up with a new array inside this integer. Yeah, this is our return array. Return array. New. We want to see how. And to get the size of the array. So integer size, r size. Jeez, yo. Yeah, that was probably a long time. Just realized last time I watched was the last time I went to the hospital for physio on my ankle. I know, I have not been very consistent about coming on either. So, what's up, Cheese? Cheese is an OG. Cheese is one of the OG supporters of this channel, probably back when we were a different name. Probably when we were like On Target Dad. Today on Target Dad. That's where we started this channel. How's that basketball carnival? Oh, yeah. We're at the arcade. We're at the arcade shooting the hoops. That's good. We still go there. How's your ankle doing? How's your ankle, Cheese? Geez, I took a little bit of time off YouTube to go to X to make my X account bigger, and we're getting there, but I can't leave everybody on YouTube hanging. Gotta do these streams on YouTube. Much better. Sweet. That is 2 thumbs up. Oh, Jesus, ankle being better. I still think about that username where it's just like, cheese. Saying cheese makes you smile. Okay, but I'm in a computer programming class right now, and that's what I'm trying to get my assignments done. Okay. So we have an array size equals the array in dot length. So we're gonna get a new array sized that minus 1. Array size minus 1. And then, so we have that, and we're gonna put everything but the maximum. But the last. So for integer I, so we got to do a for loop. Oh, we got some other things. Still have to wear an ankle guard though until after your America trip coming, 13th December. Yo, gonna be in the USA, baby. Nice. 13th December. I think I'm around. Where you going, Chief? Okay. Focus. Okay. For if you start at the first index, and we're gonna go everywhere to the array length minus 1. Array length minus 1, and we're counting out by 1. What we're gonna do, the return array equals the return array at that index I equals the original equals that. I think that's it. And then it's just gonna go till the end. And then return the array. Here. Return array. Wish me luck. Let's submit for grading. Texas, LA, Ohio. Angelos. Yeah, it's a E-L-E-S. Angeles. Los Angeles. Okay, something didn't compile. Oh, that's why. Array in dot length. Array in dot length. don't know what that last thing means. Versing Idabel High. I'll be versing Idabel High. Whatever. Okay, I got that submission correct. 100 out of 100 points. So that method for get all but last works. Let's go. Oh, yeah, we are on 15th of November. That's crazy. 15th November. Yo, geez. Well, anybody, have you been looking at 3-Eye Atlas? Because that has been an amazing thing going on right now. 3-Eye Atlas. So 100 out of 100 on that. Next assignment, get all in a range. Get all the values that are within a range. Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Come on, baby, we got this. That takes 3 arguments. The first is the array. Second and third are integers to not more than the third. Second argument value is guaranteed. Oh, okay. To be not more than the third. Must create and return an array of all the values that are between the second and third, inclusive. Okay. Nice. Get in range. Get all in range. Get in range. Let's go for the American trip. Well, thanks for hanging out, Cheese. For everybody else, now we're writing a method that is going to get an array of numbers. So that means multiple numbers in a value, in a variable, and 2 other values, and we have to return every single one that's between those or includes. So we got this public stat, and it's going to return an array of all the values that are between it, right? Okay, and this is get in range. Okay, so the array in the min, I'm just gonna say num1 and num2. So we're gonna get an array size. That's an interesting one. Because I want to try and make an array that's the correct size. So first I have to just do the logic, how many are between. Because I'm just not sure if you build up an array, can you add more? Can you just add more? Probably. Let's just make an array. I will test it that it doesn't matter what size. Doesn't matter. you must specify its size, and this size is fixed. You cannot create an array without defining its size, and you cannot append elements to an array to increase the size dynamically. Okay. Got my answer, so there's no shortcut on that one. So you do need to get the size. Which I'm just wondering, like, it's a computer. I can make it do the work twice. Because it's like, oh, it's going to search it, get the size, and then store it. That's the only problem. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. We're just going to get the count number for integer I equals 0. So yeah, we're going to do a for loop that steps through that array and checks if how many are between. Oops. Camera fell over. Less than the array in length, because we're going the full array. Increment by 1. If the array in value at I is, this is what's true, if that, okay, I got it, yeah. If that value is greater than or equal to, what was the first one? The note was the number one less than or greater than? Okay, greater than, yeah. Greater than or equal to number one. And array in at I is less than or equal to number 2. Those both have to be true. Okay, if that's true. Count. Okay. So this will increment, we'll get a count of how many are between the two. I wonder, we should probably test it. I'm gonna write some test code. But we go just in the middle, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then I'm gonna say run get in range my array and between 1, let's say between 6 and 9. So it should be 1, 2, 3. Should be 3 values here. so we need to make a new array. We're going to call this our array out. Array out, that's a new integer array of the size count. So we did need that. Okay. And then let's try this. So we got another for loop I gotta do. Now we'll do the actual adding to the array. Before we just got how many there were. Now we're gonna add it. So okay, so yeah, if our array in value here is, it's the same thing, same logic that we had. It has to be both. If, a bummer is that the professor took away the ability to paste. I can't copy paste into. I can cut, like I just did. I cut a bunch of my code, but I can't paste anything back in. So even though I already typed this once, I gotta do it again. Same logic. If the number at that part of the array is greater than or equal to number 1, and at the same time is also less than or equal to number 2, then we are going to, if that's true, then our array out at that position equals array in at I. Okay. And then we're gonna add to the counter. So it's looping through, and if it's between those, it's adding it to my array out, and then we're going to return my array out, and my test code is going to try and print the array. So let's try and run this. Okay, well, got something pretty interesting. I at 78308 db1. So that's what happens when you print array. All right. It didn't fail. So about, I don't even know. Index 1. Let's see if this will print the index of that. Let's try it one more time. 7. Yo, yes, okay. And then, because it should be, can I do a range? Maybe 0 to 2. Let's try that. Nope. Can I do it like this? I feel like I used to be able to do that. No. Okay. Fine. What if I... Let's submit for grading. Submit for grading. 12 minutes in. Oh yes, 100 out of 100. Let's go. Your score, 100 out of 100. Let's go, baby. All tests pass. Excuse me. What's the next one? Sort an array. Okay. Now what do I gotta do? Sort this array. Takes an array and it returns a true if they are in ascending order. Otherwise, it should return false. Nice. Not bad. So for each one, we'll just go. We'll start with it being false and just have to prove it to be true. Like set it to be true, set it to be true. That'd be a while loop. While, yeah. While I is less than, like I plus 1. Then that's true. Then if it's ever not, then you break out. Okay, that's what we want to do. Loop through and just say, for the only case, let's go if the second value is not greater than or equal to the first, break. Right? That's kind of like the scientific method. You do the backwards, you kind of prove the negative. So that'll be a little bit cleaner than all the others. So yeah, while we're doing that, if anywhere, like the second, or I don't know, whatever, first is greater than, if equals is okay, it would be if it's greater. Equals is okay. Greater than 2. Break. Try that. Okay, start this program. Public static, and then the array is sorted. We're returning a Boolean. And is this called is sorted? What is this called? Yeah, is sorted. And it takes an array, integer array. Kind of like, wow. Well, I is less than or equal to, oh yeah, argument in array in. Okay, while it's less than or equal to the length. Less than or equal to. here, and we're going to say so really I don't go to the end, I go to the length minus 1. And it's actually, well, I is less than that, right? Because I is going to be 0 if it's 5 long. To go 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4, 4 to 5. And the length of that is actually yeah. I is plus plus. Yeah, I'm going to default to return false. And definitely it's like if, what was I going to say? Yeah, right in at I is greater than, or is greater than, array in at I plus 1, then that means it's not sorted the right way. If that happens, it's not sorted the right way, and we are going to break, which will return false. And let's put that into and return false. And then so and then we can go else. No. So that's just if that happens, do that. But okay. I think it just means that it's true, right? All I have to say, I think that's the logic, is all I have to say is return true. Let's try that. I'm gonna try it. Unreachable statement. Submit for grading. The first one didn't compile, so I'll submit again. Yo, yes. 100 out of 100. 100 out of 100. Yeah, where I found that. So that was pretty simple. If the logic didn't hold, return false. Otherwise, return true. %. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna put my code here. All right. Here we have an array, get all that are less than. Get all takes an array of integers, returns an array of integers, all less than the second argument. Okay, so you get the array and some number, and for everything that's less than that number. Okay. So we're gonna have to make sure we have a new array and stuff in here. Oops. Okay, what up everybody? We got another problem. How fast are we gonna get 100 out of 100? Let's go. Well, let's see. Public static, and we're returning an integer array, and this is get all less than. What are we calling this? Get all less than. Get all less than. It takes integer array called array in, and it takes an integer as the bar, the threshold bar, to be less than that. Okay. We're gonna have a count of how many are less than. So let's get a variable called count. And we'll start with a for loop. That we're gonna go from 0 to the length of the array, count up by 1. And if the array in value at that index is less than the bar, that means we want to keep it. That means we need to increment our counter by 1, count plus plus. Okay, pop out of that for loop, and then we need a new array, integer array. We'll call it array out equals a new integer array of the size count. You do have to declare how big your array is. And then let's go, we need a second index, so we'll declare I, and for like, again, I equals 0 to I is less than the length of the array, count up by 1. If the value if array in value is less than the bar, we're going to put that into our array output at location j equals the array in at that index. And we're going to count up our counter, and then at the end we will return our array out. I guess I called it new array. I thought I was going to call it array out, but I'm going to change that. Array out, return array out. R out. Out. And that's R in. Array out is the size of count. Array out. This is array. Oh. Oh, what am I doing? I'm changing the code in my. Oh. Okay, let's undo all that. Oh. Okay, good. I started typing in the wrong window. I was correcting the code in another window. Just like, oh, why is this all Okay, we should be good. Array out, array out, array in, array out. I was like, I thought I was pretty consistent. Submit. Let's try. 100, let's go. Let's go. Okay. 100 out of 100. Oh, sweet. And that was the last assignment on that. Oh, yes. That means I did all those lab activities. Thank goodness. Man. Okay. Let's just save our code. Well, thanks to everybody who joined. That was a successful session. We did 10 programs. So, no, I shouldn't say we did 10. Let's see how many we actually did. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we did 5. But thanks, everybody. Love you.